Howdy love. I'm vlogging about Kriya Yoga. Yeah. Yeah, and out-of-body experiences too. So welcome to my channel. Just my style. So something interesting about Kriya Yoga, out-of-body experiences, and what else? The 0 point. Well, the 0 point is like when you lean back and you're in the 0 dimension, so there's no things, there's no body world stuff. You're formless. You're this formless consciousness. And then sort of on top of that, you could have a construct. So like this whole human reality as like a virtual reality simulation. So if you meditate and you go into this formless, usually it might feel like you're going down like a wormhole and then poop, or it might feel sometimes that you're going up. So it's just funny how you could get into it in a different way. Like you can fall in the inside of yourself, shoop, and then this will disappear. And then I'm just remembering, and I'm kind of wondering why this also works, that you can go up. So you can go like up and then through, like everything dissolves. And then there's another way even, where this depth of this reality would flatten into a screen in front of me. And that's through like Kriya Merkaba thing, right? There would be something like Merkaba activation, and then your reality flattens into like a flat screen. And there's no depth, there's no like experience here. So in any point, what you're left with is like the camera, this camera. Now the camera is kind of rigged to your head, like usually, right? So how the body moves, how the head moves, the camera moves. So you get the impression I am this body, right? I'm this avatar and I'm moving the camera with my head. So that's interesting. Okay, so the out-of-body experience. So, funny enough, I think it might have been like only one time that I actually left my body consciously, and I wasn't even like doing astral projection. I was like outside leaning onto a wall, and then I went like I left my body and I went into a spaceship. And in that spaceship, it was like all very quick, because I'm like here in this time, maybe 5 minutes passed, or maybe 10 minutes. But in this other time experience, I went to the spaceship, then I talked to these people on the spaceship. Apparently we had a previous relationship. I don't know where they're from or whatever, like you would call these like other places. I don't know the names, honestly. They then delivered me into a planet, where I went into this planet and I had a profession. This planet was kind of like a little bit, it was like similar to planet Earth, I guess. Like it was not very different, like you would be in a completely different style of the universe, in a completely different game. Like I was not a Pokemon, I was something like a humanoid, right? But there were more races there, like different races of humanoids. So it's something like Futurama, or some like this Futurama type of planet, right? There's like different races there. And so I had a profession there, and I lived like 30, 50 years, I don't know, doing something on that planet. And then here on Earth, my body is just leaning to a wall, and then somebody makes a noise, and all of a sudden I like fly back into the spaceship, back into my body, and just like, what was that noise? I'm like, okay, somebody just startled me from an astral projection, and I just lived a whole lifetime in this other planet, and here nothing happened. It was like 5 minutes. So what is this called? Relativity of time, or non-locality, or if your absolute perspective has many of these local time bubbles that are just like spinning, clocks are spinning, time is passing, you're doing something, but you're outside of that. So I guess it's called non-locality. So that's the only time where I remember like leaving my body, just going outside like that. Now, funny enough, I have many times through my waking experience, so I'm in my body, I'm actually walking, I'm using this body, or I'm sitting in a cafe, or I'm sitting in a park like right now. And I will have a superimposed astral experience, which means I can even be riding a bicycle or doing something, but then there is another thing happening that's overlaid. And sometimes it's like a battle when I'm like fighting with swords or doing other stuff in the astral that's like very intense. And here I'm like relaxing in a cafe. I'm kind of relaxing, but like the astral battle is like super intense, and it's like like swords, guns, and like shurikens or whatnot. And then here I'm kind of like trying to smile to people in a cafe because like I'm sitting in a very casual circumstance, or with a family or something like this. And also many times it would be also like intense like sexual experience where you're like banging full on with somebody, and but here you're like, maybe they're even in the room, but you're both like sitting in the room having separate conversations or whatever. So many weird things I'm having in this so-called out-of-body experience on the go. I'm rarely ever leaving my body. And maybe I'm seeing that this is maybe because I was never actually even attempting to completely leave my body, because I believe it's like not safe for some reason, or unnecessary for some reason. Or okay, yeah, I see, like a long time ago somebody instructed me, like a spirit guide instructed me to kind of like like stay a camera. Now this might not be valid right now, but the instruction that I received before was like, stay like this camera, and then let the body just relax, and then you are here. And it's sort of like you don't have to go there with your astral body, you don't have to go outside of your body. Okay, so this is the thing about the astral experience, because the space in the astral, or the time space, is relative. So you can actually, even like this physical space-time is relative. Like you can actually just jump from one space to another, right? So with your astral body, say your astral body is right here. Now you can start flying, and you're like flying above the city, right, to get to, I don't know, Germany. But you can also like just like bring that Germany, I don't know, here astrally, right? Because you can kind of just what would be like the word for that? Just quantum jump, I guess, or astral jump. So at the same time, you're not leaving your physical body and kind of like walking, and then you're walking to Germany in your astral body, right? You can also kind of like bring that astral bring that astral landscape right here into your room where your physical body is. Now, it does not have to be recommended that you do it in this way, okay? But there is there is a reason. There is a reason why to do it in this way, for me, and I'm going to explain why. Now, if you wanted to actually quantum jump your physical body, if you wanted to like leave your physical body and go into your astral body and then do stuff, then you can kind of like move further from your physical body. But as I explained, this is not necessary. But if you want to quantum jump your physical body, then you want to keep your physical, your astral, and all of your bodies together here. So you want to remain in the center, and then you want to center your physical, your astral, and all of your bodies around the center. So you don't want to like spread these bodies to different in their respective realms. You don't want to spread them out because you'll be spreading yourself too thin. You want to keep them all coherent. You want to keep them all centered. In this way, you can move. You can shift the timeline. That's like as you learn to shift the astral around your center, so not to move your body, then you can learn how to shift the physical reality around your center even. Okay. Now with the physical, of course, it's like astral is more malleable, I guess. So you could literally like spin the like if you imagine yourself, you're in the astral room and you stay in the center, you can spin the whole room around you. Okay. With the physical, that would be much harder to do energetically, but to create a timeline shift or something like this, where it's not like you're shifting the whole planet. Like, let's say I start to shift, I want to shift the tree and this like shopping mall and people and everything is shifting around me. That would like be energetically almost like impossible. Everything is possible, though it would be like pretty exhausting. But a smaller shift, like a timeline shift where you offset something, is possible. Even like a physical quantum jump, like teleportation or something like this. That requires a lot of energy too. So it's just intense for the experiencer. I'm not there yet. I mean, kind of like teleported once, but it was not. It was not from like, okay, let's do it, and then now I'm in Bali. But it was like I'm in one place, and then there's like my life was in danger, and then I happened to be like a few meters away, and I was like, what just happened? Like, I'm alive. And this happened kind of twice, but it was more like a glitch that introduced me to a possibility that you can actually shift the timeline, you kind of like rearrange where you physically are, and your camera can be in that body that like you're over there right now. So it's like a little quantum jump, and this was not intentional physical teleportation for me, but it was more from a higher station of identity, or your soul, your higher self. It was like a little maneuver to keep me out of danger. So then, of course, when you want to utilize this higher energy, you need to create this coherence within the bodies, right? And then you need to sort of surrender your also flimsy flesh here and align all of these dimensions. So it's energetically, I guess I would recommend to practice just allowing the Kriya Yoga, because Kriya Yoga is from higher dimension where there is only geometry, and then this like causal or blueprint dimension coming into the lower all the way into the physical density. So you can't do really Kriya from like thinking mentally about it or knowing. You have to go into this type of flow where this all of the layers, or you can call that Kundalini or whatever, like the layers of the energy start to move through your body. So it's your higher self or God self doing Kriya, which is an intelligent geometry that is in the higher dimension. So it's really hard to actually learn like Kundalini yoga, or it's kind of maybe misguiding to learn or teach Kundalini yoga and Kriya yoga in a way that we like show people like do this like mudra or Kriya and whatever, because if you want to simulate that mentally, it's not how you do it. You need to open up your nadis and then allow the energy to flow, and then allow yourself to, like your consciousness to spread out, so you can catch all the layers of the cake, the causal or blueprint layer of the cake or density, and then subsequent densities all the way into the physical, and then they all move together, but you are in no mind. So it's kind of entering that spontaneous flow state, or should I call it maybe like state of trance. From your normal human, you're immersed in your emotional feedback, your mental feedback with the physical world. You need to so a really easy way to initiate yourself into Kriya Yoga would be that either falling into 0 point, like I previously explained, is just like going inwardly into your center, finding that dot, that nucleus in the center of your being, wherever you feel your center is, and then allowing your awareness to fall back through the dot. Then you will find yourself beyond space and time, which is right here everywhere. But also there is like dimensional space obviously here being experienced, but you want to anchor yourself into that subdimensional space, the 0 point. So it's like feel where the center is, imagine that little dot in the center of your being, and then allow the awareness to fall through it. Imagine just like falling into that dot and then emerging on the other side. Then you will find nothing there. Now when you relax into this and you stay here, your meditation is going to be pretty effortless because you're already anchored in the samadhi state, right? So now your body will start to actually receive a lot of energy. And if it's not automatically, you can invoke it. You can say, okay, like 0 point, consciousness, Brahman, whatever, like pour it up. Or pour it up in a gentle way, or just like fill me up. And if you do this type of invocation, you may feel immediate Kriya or immediate detox. Like I feel like a lot of times just like heat in my muscles, so much heat, because all of a sudden you're getting that nuclear, that subatomic, that quantum energy blasting through your first vibrational loomings, then your atoms, then your cells, then everything starts to flow. The whole looming of reality on every density starts to flow. So that's a good way to initiate yourself into Kriya. First step into 0 point, and then so if this is not clear enough for you how to go into 0 point, I have a course on that, so you can check my description for the link for that course, where we go through it in details, and we go through this different type of meditation and adjusting your nervous system also to conducting this type of energy, which is really intense, or can be really intense until you worked it out, or you worked it in. Okay, I got a little bit carried away in the 0 point in Kriya, so I don't know exactly what I was going about. So maybe it's a good point to maybe conclude this video. So superimpose astral experiences where you're in the center of your physical body, not leaving your body, may be worth trying, because everybody says, okay, imagine the ladder and then leave your body with like this silver cord or whatever, right? So it's always about leaving somewhere. How about magnetizing? How about pulling? Like understanding you are non-local, so your point of awareness that is projecting your consciousness is like always, in the absolute center. So going somewhere, it's a simulation, really. The screen is flat. You're a little guy, kind of like walking through. It's a computer screen, right? Nothing is moving. It's just a simulated that you're going. So leaving your body, it's interesting idea, and walking through the physical realm. I'm actually driving this electric scooter. Fun, fun. It's a simulation. But you can also astral jump or quantum jump from the center. So you're taking these different space-time bubbles to you. You're magnetizing them to yourself. Just a reverse logic, different way of seeing it, different way of thinking about it. All right. I see you in the next one. If you're into this, throw a like so I know that I'm actually talking to someone. Ciao.